of historical things.
I don't remember who else is on the committee.
You can do Betsy.
No, I'm gonna.
Anita, Jason,
Who else?
Charles Anthony, whoever he is.
Chaz, no, he hasn't been.
You know him and Lysandra? You know, from the club?
Yeah.
She has blonde hair. Come on.
She's young and good looking.
Hey, you're young and good looking too.
Well, Chaz, he hasn't been. Well, did you get permission?
Is he a golfer or not?
He's young up there.
Well, I'll meet him when I meet him. So I guess this is like, oh, have Benita or Jason join us?
Benita was on Zoom at the last meeting, so I don't think she's not in town, but she was driving. Jason should be here.
Could we incorporate into that meeting?
Hey, Ben Sharon.
How are
Staying
you?
busy?
I am.
Thanks for doing such a good job getting information out to everybody.
You're welcome.
You know, I took a picture of your rhododendrons out there. Bears.
Mhm.
You should send that out. That's really gorgeous.
Bro, we're on the side.
Send it to me.
What is
When
there,
you
like
send
a
out
wind
your
channel
next,
there?
when you send out your next letter to say,
I said send it to me, your picture.
oh, okay.
And then-
Can I got your email?
Well, she gets sent her email every week.
I have.
What is it?
Are we ready?
No, hang on, let me get.
Just come back.
You're gonna shut that for us?
Is that reciting what we said?
You betcha. But it's not recording yet.
Yes.
That
It includes everything. He says it's going back.
Did you think you took it off you? Cause it's 360. No.
Okay, well, we get recorded. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I think we got our last parking spot, so.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
All right, we ready? Hang on. We're
Oh,
Is that what we are?
see now, there's all that.
Go ahead and start.
All right, I think we're ready to do. Thanks everyone for joining me today. So I guess first up on the agenda is a lot of minutes. Hopefully you all had a chance to read them, sharing some out with the meeting invite. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Yes. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, terrific. Next up, the review of the July 4th celebration, responsibility and other updates. So there was a subcommittee meeting, two. Oh, another one tomorrow, yes. I will not be able, oh, I will be able to join that person now. So we have been quite a bit of planning on the July 4th celebration and keeping up, detailed plan on that. And one of the things we did the last time around was go walk the property because of the situation with Merrill, but that's since been resolved, so that's wonderful. And so we don't have to worry about sort of plan B at this point on that. Some of the other things that were up for discussion, shuttles obviously are out now, so that simplifies things. Okay. Oh, so we will have shuttles regardless?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, terrific.
14.
And then, Jason, what about the fireworks? I know that was a concern.
The fireworks, we have actually had a boy that is, going to be, he's training on his own time. And he will be, doing the sheet for the company. The company, just in case anybody doesn't know, that may be watching this video later, we have partnered with the company that shoots the Dillard House. Dillard House is not going to shoot this year because of the construction. And so the company, the pyro company, they failed to let us know, but they reallocated their shooter because of that. So, but he said, find me a shooter, we can do the show. And we have a wonderful employee that is learning to do that, pyro. So we will have a show in the month to shoot it.
Is that one person's job?
No, it's two. It's this employee and one of his relatives be doing it, but it's Dustin Hensley. Just remind about say his name, but he is training. In fact, you may be hearing some fireworks popping off between now and then because he has to have 6 shows. I think I'm going to do like 3 little mini shows we're going to be doing, probably like 5 minutes. So you may see that, but we're excited about that. And as I mentioned in the marketing committee this morning, because the Dillard House is not shooting, we are anticipating a larger crowd than ever because talking with their marketing person, they're booked for that weekend. Their guests are expecting a fireworks show. That's not going to happen. So I suspect their folks are going to be coming up here to see the show. I talked with Ryan about that, but we're prepared. So
I think the biggest concern, I guess now is when the parking lot is large, the company.
yeah, those the leases, the T's have not been crossed, the I's have not been dotted, but we had some great negotiations, almost like discussions with the mayor and council president Pence, and basically now it's in the attorney's hands, I guess. His attorney's going to revise the leases, and our attorney will look it over, but that should be hopefully buttoned up pretty soon, and that will allow us to continue. In fact, when we met earlier in the week, we talked with Mr. Merrill. We indicated that we've used that parking space for years, and so everything should be good to go.
I had a question on that. I often wondered, okay, we'll be the whole of the leaks, but we will have it. If something happened, where's the liability?
Yeah,
We have a bridge down
we have a blanket policy that covers the whole city.
What bridge is that again? The Golden Bridge.
Okay.
I mean, where people want to get out of the overlook and walk over there. This wide now.
That's not,
I can see
It's not
somebody.
his, is it?
I've done that.
I mean, people do foolish things, and hopefully, if anybody wants to see, I guess they can see, but we do have a lot of recovery.
Go to.
Are you talking about the cover?
The old bridge,
Yeah.
I thought that was his personal property.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I looked at that thing, it's in pretty bad shape. I don't know if we could do anything to build a little walk bridge over.
I say we don't invite the trouble.
But you want to, people to go out on that?
No.
People do it. They get to.
How often do people walk? I know if we have to-
Walk in that
Yeah,
trail.
but
from the
that's not-
other-
that's if you don't bridge itself. I don't know somebody else.
I've been on it. Everybody's been on it.
They walk past.
Okay, so let's get back to important stuff here. Where we at?
The shuttles have been reserved, we have the fireworks show figured out. We have the porta potties, we have the hand washing station.
Jason, that stuff though is, and I'm not meaning to cut you off, but that's tomorrow's meeting. Today, we're more about the community connection part of it.
Yeah, so that's all, those were important, I think the biggies of the things that were sort of out there that we hadn't settled on, so that's great. Anything else, anybody want to mention?
I wanted to just saying about the dog parade and costume. I've reached out and at this point I have no one that could share it. So if you have some ideas, We did it a couple of years, actually had some people, whole family got involved because they had to follow out. So if we know someone that could chair it, that would be wonderful. I haven't been able to find anyone. Work,
I got a couple of you.
okay,
Discuss tomorrow.
okay, you could reach out to them, it'd be great, I'll help out and then when we can. We won't chair it, so I needed someone to chair it.
So I'm glad you raised that. I think there's one other item for this committee specifically is around volunteers and, getting volunteers to help out on the 4th of July. So sort of looking for everyone in this group to make sure we bring volunteers forward. However, you guys think that's best that we, start to bring people into the fold. I mean, the subcommittee is a great place where people can hear what's going on and everything that we're planning. So bringing them in earlier, I think is better, but also, for the folks that have already stepped up to chair certain events, helping them get volunteers. Let's not leave it just to them. So
We're gonna need approximately 40
Yeah.
volunteers.
at least, between 40.
Yeah, because then if we know we need 40, then we know how many we need, everybody has to try to go out and recruit, so.
Yeah.
So then there would be some kind of meeting to orient, plan, and tell everybody what the role is, or that'll be, obviously that'll be somewhere down the road, but.
I think that's a little bit further down the road, but I do think the folks who are sort of heading up each event can do that individually. Not everybody needs to hear what everybody else is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. To get volunteers, once they volunteered and they're on their committee, we need a list of those names, so we don't go back and keep
Right.
asking Jim to volunteer when he's already there. I can tell you, people like that, they're doing the Sid Weber barbecue, they're doing this, they're doing that. So we need to get names and put them on a list.
Well, I
So
made
they
the
are
chart,
committed.
but until we get people.
Well, I was just gonna say, so a question, so we start reaching out, what are we asking them to commit to, how much time, what time of day, because a lot of people have family commitments and.
Maybe 1 hour.
visitors and all that stuff,
Most
so.
of it, most after the parade.
After the parade.
Some before.
Well, there's plenty before.
But I mean, is there a set number, do we have an idea, of is it gonna be 4 hours, 6 hours, 2 hours, or what we're asking to commit to?
1 hour.
1 hour, okay.
I think it also depends on.
How many volunteers?
Yeah, it depends on the event too, the activities. But generally, I would say 1 to 2 hours, somewhere in that range. Okay, so we can talk about that more, I guess, in September, but I just wanted to raise it with this group as well. Yeah, we have that rough idea there, so look at that. Okay, so anything else on the 4th of July? Right, more comes tomorrow. So I wanted to talk about community engagement. We hadn't really gotten there yet, even though that's one of our responsibilities in this committee. And obviously, we've been focused on 4th of July, and rightly so. But so some things to think about. So potentially sending out a survey, and I understand surveys have been done in the past. But maybe doing a survey again and setting a baseline. So if we, take the temperature of the community and then we can go back and, potentially do that again in 18 months, 2 years, or whatever the case may be, and see if we've actually moved the dial. If we've done anything, worth, to increase engagement. And so the way that you do that is put out a survey, use a tool, some kind of a tool, I guess. Sharon, I'm sorry, I forgot what tool you said you used.
We use MailChimp.
MailChimp. And then, design the questions. I've got potential some questions that obviously we'll need to tweak and maybe pare down their at the risk of being overly inclusive and trying to ask too many questions so that we can pare that down over time. Come up with a short survey.
Hasn't a lot of this already been done in marketing?
What's the survey? We've done a lot of marketing surveys and what people like.
Yeah.
What's some of the questions I see?
Age group, how long have you lived here? Household type, homeowner, renter.
I'm just saying, maybe some of that
We already have that.
because I know the marketing committee, they did a survey.
We won the survey. I'm sorry, what particular information you're
So
looking
this
for?
is asking people Do you-
Volunteering or what?
No, well, yeah, asking if they would be willing to volunteer, what have they volunteered for in the past? What kinds of events would they like to see? Do they feel like they know their neighbors? Do they feel connected? What kind of events could we do, or, things that could we hold to create more connections within the community? What would people like to participate in, and what would they support? And what would make them feel more connected, and what do they think, we don't do today that we maybe should do in the future?
And you've had a big change in the last 5 years between younger people moving in who are on the computer working from home. You've got a lot of new people. And I think most of the surveys were done, weren't they, Shannon, about
2 years.
3 years ago or
I think it
something?
was, Gordon, wasn't it a year and a half?
Surveys for the fall, and,
Yes, it
largely,
was
a lot of
market.
people over
Do you
here.
want
when
to walk? Do you do this?
Yeah.
That's a different.
It's
This
an
is
excellent-
more, this is more like making them part of the community versus market.
Yeah, what do you currently participate in today, and what would you want to participate in?
That's, yes, okay,
It's more communication.
right.
Yeah, stuff.
And how would they prefer that we communicate with them, like through the website or email or text messaging or all of those things, whatever?
You can look at what Sharon has, several surveys at, see those, and there's, I don't know, maybe God, and you could say, eliminate those. And see what you got. I think what you're saying, yeah, different types of survey altogether, yeah. But look at what they have, so we could eliminate that portion for you.
I'll send you that.
Okay,
Great.
terrific.
Thanks, great.
And then I was just wondering about the distribution list, and do we have complete distribution lists for the?
We have a list of obviously where I send emails to, but it's people who have subscribed or have chosen to call us and ask us to subscribe them.
How many are on that list, Sharon?
You're not?
No, I said, how many
Oh,
individual?
1,400, but I mean, we might, right this time of year, get 250 opens.
Was there 1,400 distribution?
The database says that.
Those are a list of people asked for email distribution from the city.
Or have signed up.
Already signed up, that doesn't necessarily mean all owners. right?
No.
Okay.
What about your water bill? Doesn't that go to everybody?
It goes in the mail. And only the people who have chosen to sign up for the new portal get it via email.
But you do have that original.
Well, the difference is MailChimp, they have to give us permission to solicit them or send the information out.
In a water bill, we're gonna do a survey, look for it.
Oh, well, we can announce that, but we still wouldn't have the 100%.
Is that not
Yeah.
good?
Remember, when we put notices out there, some people look at it, I'm just thinking, old school, we just put notices up at the post office, I had the bulletin board. Everybody's gonna check the mail, we can, when we have council meetings, I think the last month before I talked about volunteers, so. It's just grassroots, those kind of things, as far as volunteers.
I think I shared the link on
Hey,
Facebook.
you want to
too.
volunteer, great. You go right here, you do this, you do. That's, we're gonna need folks to have the parking, we're probably gonna be about 8 folks, probably to do the dump stuff. Are we gonna, tomorrow, okay, I'll do it. And we, in the past, we got it down pretty much to the science, as far as we know we need, but,
I think that idea of putting something up at the post office is a good idea, because you could say, you could use it as a hook to get more people on the distribution list to say, hey, we're doing this survey, if you want to participate, send send an email to Sharon or whatever.
We can just go to our website.
Yeah.
you want, the water bills will be going out about 4 or 5 days. It needs to be something very simple. We can put something on there,
We could put a reminder to sign up for it or to contact us if they want to be.
So question, but the purpose, the audience for this survey is residents of the city, is it
Yes,
not?
yes.
So how many of those are there? I mean, do we have any, because we want to send it to those, not all 1,400 necessarily, that may not all be residents, right?
How would I know?
No,
I don't know.
I'm just
Out of that
asking if there's
1,400.
categories
Well,
that
that's what I
this
think
is
we gotta
rated.
ask.
Yeah, we have one for Fall Festival, but We don't send it to them.
So we don't have a master database on all the residents.
No, we do not.
22nd of May, do that big Memorial Day, hot dog, let's talk about working each other. That would be, that's gonna be open to everybody, that's kind of like the official beginning of summer. But we're gonna probably order about, get about 1,000 hot dogs. The residents, you know, we're gonna recognize our employees, we're going to, it's gonna be welcome back. That's gonna be a very captive audience, just, hey, what are you gonna be doing in a little month? We're gonna be celebrating, do this again. Volunteers, so I think that would be a good opportunity to get folks in, because we did that last year, and it was well received. We're expecting a big crowd.
Sign up to get it.
So I think that would be a great opportunity, because a lot of folks, that's Memorial Day weekend, but a lot of folks do that Friday the 22nd.
And that could also be tied into how we're on the emergency preparedness committee. Just having more emails of people, you know, how to contact them, and that they could get the emails for things to go out for emergency situations.
Yeah, I think it would be good all around to get a better list. But obviously, it's a challenge to keep it updated all the time, but if we can make sure that people know.
Well, we don't update it. I mean, it's in the, you know what I mean? It's in the program.
Right.
But we don't know how to drop off people who don't care. They 1,400 people may get it, but it's in spam, you know.
Right.
Clarify with me and I heard maybe more use it.
Well, I guess if too many people want it, people who don't care and don't respond, fine, but getting people who want to know that don't know right now, don't get it, reaching out and finding them and making sure that they get that communication. Maybe they don't know that it's available. So it sounds like everybody thinks this is a worthwhile activity to try and do that. I think the fact that we haven't really done a survey like this in the past, even sounds like past surveys 3 years plus, that's outdated information.
It was 1.5 years, I think, because I mean, it was, but still.
So I can continue to work on that, and Sharon, do you mind sending that list out of the questions when we do the minutes for this meeting? We can look at that and see if they, you know, want to add or, you know, have any comments on the questions. Of course, as us sitting here looking through them.
And there's no question, the more you reach out to people, the more you encourage their response, whether they're unhappy or not, but at least it brings them in. Instead of, because I'll tell you, for the single older women, they're out there, half of them don't know how to do the email, the other half delete something. So if this survey goes out, it will be, well, you know, are you doing the survey and you didn't, let me show you on your phone how to do it and respond. And I think it's a reaching out isn't something that needs to be done.
Well, that brings us to the next topic, how to develop more positive engagement. I mean, doing a survey is one thing, we can get ideas from folks, but then it's actually executing. And I think, you know, one of the key parts of that will be a communication strategy, because if we don't have, you know, if we're not reaching everybody, then it's kind of a moot point. So trying to figure out how we reach more people, how to reach more people.
Jason, how's the coffee going with the mayor and the chief? Is that having any good response or not?
I think so. I mean, I'm just kind of following in and out on that.
Okay.
She's had a pretty robust attendance to that.
Good.
I mean, she's doing that quarterly, so I don't know if that would be before the 4th.
It's June.
Oh, it is in June.
I think it's the 16th, but I'll send it out.
Yeah, and that's one way. Obviously, when we do have these big events, like you mentioned, the hot dog lunch or Fourth of July, making sure that we're, you know, got signs up or things up that people can see that they can sign up for distribution, you know, and for information. And if they ways to communicate, you know, when things going on in the neighborhood that they're gonna want.
I get it. Look, we're doing the volunteer shirt, right? Come get a shirt. Help us out.
So question, Sharon, how do you, obviously the newsletter you send out on a regular basis, you send out those updates as they are needed, and things, topics come up. But what other ways are you communicating with residents right now, just so we understand what we're doing beside? Because obviously for me, emails the easiest, quickest, I see it, I read it, I boom, but not everybody's that way. So what other ways? Website, is that stuff
The
posted on the website?
Obviously,
And
yeah.
then-
It's posted
So
on the
those
website.
two electronic ways.
And some things are on Facebook, like if it's an announcement, but I don't put everything on Facebook, you know, city business, I don't.
And the post office.
Yeah, we post all those things.
Well,
Everybody's different in what they read and what they pay attention to. That's why it's multiple touch points. So.
what is their suggestion box? Is there one? at the post office?
I don't know that we have.
Next to the trash can.
I wonder if anybody.
I mean, what about, Sharon, I mean, I know we get all kinds of signs from tropical rains. You put it up to the finishes, you'll get lost in noise, but if, I know we put out informational signs, if we had one at the post office, that just, if you want to volunteer, reach out, get a free t-shirt. And I'm not trying to, that's something we probably that would have to be part of, just, you know, as a flame, bigger and bigger, but I'm just trying to think of some things. Cause that always seems to be the best, you know, just those signs at strategic locations, you know.
Is this you're talking about the 40 volunteers we're saying?
Yeah.
Or just
Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I would think with our network and all of our individual circles of influence that we could probably find for with all of us. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. There are these little groups of influence that you have, but there are lost souls in there that never get touched by anybody. So if we're gonna communicate, let's try to get beyond our
We're talking
little,
about the volunteers.
I'm talking about for human connection.
No, we're talking about volunteers.
Well, that'll come. But I think you have to reach out as a community.
I agree, but we're talking about volunteers.
So do we think the May 22nd thing is too early to try to do that? I think it's a great time to try to get people to sign up to volunteer.
To create a list for people to sign up. I think we can have that tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. That seems like, you know, those are people who want to connect. Those are people who come into an event. They're going to be.
And that's what we usually see, like at pancake breakfasts and things. Those are the people who are active.
Right. They're the people who want to be.
Another thing we could maybe do then.
Oh, so I didn't realize it was a special project. I didn't realize it was.
Tomorrow.
If you
What
want
is
to
it, tomorrow?
Tomorrow is that one?
I missed that.
You know, we can
I
send
wanted
them
to be here.
Well, tomorrow's for the 4th of July. Tomorrow's for the 4th of July. But if you can't, you can't.
It's just another way to invite them to communicate. You know, some people do it like, some people like paper, at least it's.
Some people read flyers.
Yeah, but I mean, you said we could maybe accomplish multiple things with that volunteer request.
Yes. I think so.
So we'll have the email list ready. And then we'll have the signs. And he was talking to me, did I miss anything on that? We're just talking about putting it all together. Because if I need to do one more thing, let me know. I need to know. I get the signs ordered and I can.
Do something to try to
Uh-huh.
encourage, recruit volunteers. Another thing we could say, because we're trying to recruit residents, right? I mean, so another
Yeah.
thing we could ask residents, and also if you'd like to be, included in our email distribution list, if you're not already, please either email Sharon that, whatever your address is, or fill out this, we have just little forms there they fill out, put in a box, that then you pick up and add to the database. Does that
Not a
make
problem.
sense?
Yeah.
That way they don't have to. Stop it. Pop it in the box.
Yeah, somebody picks it up and just share it.
Yeah, I think finding the people first is like, that's.
Yeah,
what-
that's our audience.
Yeah. We gotta find the people first. So, okay, terrific. So sounds like we gotta plan on that. So then other ways, I guess, to develop engagement, events, something like Fourth of July or something, to your point earlier, something more serious, sort of like civic partnering. You know, are there things that, you know, civic events that we want to partner on or sponsor to, you know, utilize those as a sort of kickoff to bring people together, you know, something. So I had some possible events that are happening throughout the year that could be sort of partnered as like civic events if you look down below there. So I guess on August 4th, there's this national night out where, you know, all across the country, people are going to have block parties. We could have one at the pavilion potentially. There's August 7th, which is Purple Heart Day. I know I've heard some discussion about this already about honoring local veterans, have a recognition breakfast or something like that. And that's something the mayor would like to see happen.
The POA does, we partner with the POA and do a big Purple Heart celebration.
We're a Purple Heart City already.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah, and then October 4th through 10th is Fire Prevention Week, and I understand that we could partner with the fire department to have some events around that, and maybe I can't remember if the mayor suggested that the fire chief's wife would like to do some things, that she's got some ideas or something.
Maybe, unless they have a suggestion, just on the questions, I don't know if you already have it in there, but it would also probably be a good idea to ask people to survey. How many events would you be willing to participate in?
Yeah.
Would you like one a month, one every other month? So we get some idea of what people's pain threshold is for participation, because we're gonna do all this stuff. People say, well, I only wanna come to, you know, 1, 2 events, and we have 6, then, you know, we're probably not gonna get, we're doing a lot of work and effort, and maybe not gonna get participation more, so.
Exactly.
And I think Sharon might have mentioned this. Breakfast, pancake breakfast is a tremendous problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Tremendous problem. You got a lot of cat people there
Yeah.
to talk to.
So do something at the breakfast.
If,
potentially.
if the POA will agree to, you know.
Yeah.
so they will.
Okay.
Or, yeah, maybe on the heels of breakfast or whatever, I don't know how to connect it, but we don't wanna rain on their parade.
Well, all people eat that.
Yeah, but I mean, when they're there, to eat, just hang out.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, we could always have the email sign up there, or, you know, where they pay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Cause I'll have one of those from home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that the first one? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's coming up quick. Okay, I agree though. I think we have to be careful about trying to have too many events.
Well, I mean, that's just another opportunity to ask, because, you know, there's an old saying, ask the customer what they want, until you what they do. I mean, so, but if, and our customer is the resident here, so if we ask them on the events they want, hopefully they'll give us some feedback, and that'll give us a guide, for at
Yeah.
least how many we start before we go crazy, but.
You basically got 6 months with high attendance.
Yeah.
People be-
Well, but that's a good point, but then you still have an audience in the winter, so you have a season audience and an off-season audience, so what do you maybe do for the off-season audience too? It's like, we don't wanna ignore that opportunity, or, because you still have to communicate with people who are in Florida or not here in the winter.
Yeah.
In terms of keeping them up to date, and they're on the email list and that kind of thing, so, it's not like don't need to be communicated with still.
I don't know if anybody has any other ideas of, around engagement, communication, or other events or opportunities that we could consider. I mean, I don't think we have to make a decision on these today, and I think, like, obviously Purple Heart is maybe already in progress, and we've got till October.
Well, and you might want to reach out to Ron Bomas because he's working on that National Night Out.
I mean, I've got a suggestion.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
like.
right, he did say that, sorry. I forgot he said that on at the last meeting, he already was working on that, so.
What did you say, Tim?
Well, no, I was just gonna say, as far as events, another kind of angle to take with that would be, I'm involved in the Rotary. For anybody who knows Rotary, it's a service organization that can do a lot of good, help a lot of organizations and people in the community, just like Sid Weber does. But there may be an opportunity to think about what local organizations need help in, or volunteers or support or whatever, and kind of use that as a vehicle to see what residents might wanna, we might want to do on a regular basis to get a group. Cause like the food distribution already got first in church, third Saturday of every month. You know, there's like a ton of people in Sky Valley, and I see people there that I haven't seen in a while, we catch up and all.
Right.
But so there's a lot of opportunities in this county where people, those organizations need help. You know, you could go down the list and find plenty of them. But maybe there's a way to recruit a Sky Valley, smaller Sky Valley groups to do those kind of things, because everybody has different interests. You know, and then it's like, whether we have 10 Sky Valley people get together as a group to do it, you know, you post it on Facebook, you can build some camaraderie and all that. And it's more of a small group approach versus one thing, big thing for everybody.
One thing, excuse me, I'm working on it, Donnie, is for the third or fourth, but that's a good thing to do year round, is right to veterans, active veterans. And I've come up with several sources, I haven't contacted them yet, but some of them, like a one-time letter, whatever, some of them, like you do it 3 or 4 times a year. And that's what made me think what you're saying, for the year-round people. And I think they'd be involved.
So you're saying communicate with our veterans that live here? Is that?
And or any.
Well, active soldiers, right?
You know.
Yeah, there could be involved.
And some of these, like you do that animal care package. And I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Have an event where everybody gets together and packs them and does it. That's something else.
In the past, Sky Valley has had president of Habitat on the board of Habitat. And then that sort of went into Sid Weber. But it's true, we should have access and interaction with the Flatlanders also.
Yeah.
And Forward Raven is a great thing. And your magazine, you know, meet your neighbors, that's good. I didn't realize Sam Beck had all those people.
They're on their 7th generation.
I
Leslie,
know.
it's by your shoe.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's me, okay. But it's true, and I think more people would volunteer and go down if they had a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you have to have 2 or 3 people and then they'll go, whether it's a church thing or Clayton Art Festival or whatever.
Whatever, there's so many things going on here.
But again, that should be somewhere in a welcome packet or information packet so that the new person can come and figure out who's doing what. Here's the art, here's the basket, here's this, here's that.
Yeah, there's gotta be one point
Yes.
person for each of those groups that says, okay, I've got my little distribution list, we're gonna send it out, and chairman say, hey, Tim's heading up a group that's gonna go to the food distribution this Saturday, the 18th. We're gonna meet in the parking lot at blah, blah, and carpool down, something like that. And then anybody wants to go, go. But it's gotta be somebody that, kind of be the leader of the effort.
Sharon, can we put that in your newsletter? Like, that be like a standard thing that you say, you know, for people in the community who are involved in local organizations and are looking for volunteers for those organizations, they could come to you and say, we're about to have an event, you know,
Public service.
looking for people to join, you know, meet up at City Hall at this time, you know, whatever. We can have people sort of advertise their local events, if you will, in the newsletter.
And there's a ton of, there's a ton
Yes.
of.
Because I'm sure there's lots of people here in Sky Valley who are doing various things to your point.
Yeah, because we feature a different one in every issue, you know, we kind of rotate around about different exposure, get the word out to them. But, you know, that's just 12 years, so there's a ton more than that.
But for example, if I was like, so when I was working, I was on the board of an organization, a food kitchen, and so I would get people at my work to make sandwiches. We make like 1,200 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bag them up and take them down there. But, you know, people love to do that. It was so easy because it was like at the office, they didn't have to go do anything else.
It was all organized.
It was all organized and it felt good, you know, and they knew people were gonna get fed. And so just making it easy on people to find out about these opportunities to go serve
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a
Having,
great one.
having to go find it yourselves is, you know, requires, requires a little work, but, you know, knowing that 4 or 5 people are gonna go down and do something together is, just makes it.
Yeah, I mean, if we have like one opportunity a month, one organization, everybody,
Yeah.
it's different stuff.
Because everybody has good intentions, but to actually go do.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody needs to say, hey, Mario, why don't you come with me to this? I think you'll enjoy it.
This is what drives me nuts, is there's all, these people are here and they're lonely and they're all, I'm talking to those. And they want to do this, but you have to call mother and say, come on and leave me here. And I'm driving, I'm in here like,
Everybody's not as outgoing as you, Walter.
Well, actually, very few.
no, it's an interesting thing, and we are so fortunate to have Scott Elk, which is still a manageable city. And it's a manageable community, and my God, are we lucky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unmanageability in this world.
I'll make sure that I've got something in the survey about,
Yes,
see that, about organizations that maybe people are involved in, that they maybe would want to get more participation from residents. Because then that could sort of feed the next
Open up. a
few
lot.
newsletters
You know.
of, you know, we can have this whole list of,
When you say newsletter, what are you
when
talking
you're
about?
sending out like your, like updates, weekly events or whatever, we could highlight one and say, hey, this event's coming up, contact.
Yeah, I just don't want that to end up being
No,
because that's the whole point. You know, the Sky Valley Times goes out as a,
yeah,
If it gets too long, people.
yeah.
no, it'd be just, this is coming up, contact someone if you want to learn more, participate. Okay, anything else on that?
and what happens to spaghetti dinners we say, or charity, anything that people being waiters?
Bonnie wanted to take that anymore.
Those, or they held it, or like that,
Yeah, she catered them, she furnished everything at night, clothes, you know. And it was usually.
It was a fundraiser.
50s, yeah. Just
We had 20, 30 coming from Scott.
Oh,
We did.
that.
More than that, yeah. I mean, so what I'm saying is, it has been proven to be very successful to get groups.
So yeah, I think, I'm trying to think of an organization that does it. She just did it that month, but I mean, there's something every month.
They do the breweries.
Yeah, well,
Some of them they're called.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Brewery,
Yeah, houses, bars. It's not big.
Okay, we'll have good ideas. All right, so Fall Festival, we haven't really gotten to talk about the next big topic after 4th of July. So I thought we ought to. So one of the, again, anybody can correct me who's got better information on this, but my understanding is generally I think Pancake Breakfast is planned right now for the weekend of October 3rd, but the Fall Festival was, yeah, 3rd Saturday, so,
that's the big one in the board.
which you can't use in the parking lot,
Well-
apparently at the club, right? At the
Well, close.
No, the lodge parking.
Or the vendors, so the vendors were at the club last year and car show was at Old Lodge.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
But most you have it at the festival at the lodge. parking
Okay.
lot,
Just because that's some respects, yes.
And usual park too.
So to everyone's point about partnering with the Pancake Breakfast, would we want to ask them? I know they've already put out their dates for the year, but would we want to ask them to change it to the 17th, or would we want to consider moving up the Fall Festival earlier to have those two things on the same day?
The problem we have in Fall Fest, you know, we didn't do it, what, 3 or 4 years. And we lost a lot of vendors, started going other places. Yeah, October is very busy month for festival. And, I don't think, I don't want to be wrong, I don't want to be negative, but I don't think the POA would want to change on given month, given day.
Yeah.
Pretty set in their
What is
schedule.
it, the first?
It's not always the first. It's like Father's Day weekend, you know,
Yeah.
different things.
But, I mean, we're trying, but it's a cap, I mean, I used to do the coffee for the pancake breakfast, Fourth of July. I like to pull my hair, There's no way you could keep up. I mean, you look out and they were lined up all the way to the clubhouse.
You should try frying
And
eggs.
they want their coffee, and they get
All they're
there.
standing there.
Yeah, they want their coffee. Oh, it's zoo, but good to,
Yeah,
No,
so,
big money maker.
and Memorial Day weekend, all those big.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great event, just because it's easy, it's the start of the day, doesn't take a lot of time, you see a lot of people, it's fun, the food's good, it's a good value. You know, it's all good vibes, so that's great.
But I think Grace Guess, she's not on this committee this year, but she's a good cadet. And Phil Lane, she might want to share months. And have stuff, you know.
What is
We
that?
need to run it by her. I mean,
What are you talking
They,
about?
Grace has a separate group running the breakfast.
Okay.
And they are, that's Bruce Ganton, Smalley, and Donna Tarasak and Larry. And they are in charge of that POA breakfast because of the money, and they've got a doctor's.
But it'll be money raisers for the year.
So in fact, it's the only thing.
Moving into Fall Fest at the same day as the pancake breakfast, is that what you think about?
I was just questioning.
There aren't any leaves.
Huh?
There aren't any leaves at that point.
No, they're
It's too early. so.
Yeah.
But that's a big ball, football thing.
And why would you feed them breakfast? They're not gonna come and eat a hot dog. They're gonna be full of pancakes. I mean, when you're talking about vendors.
Yeah, that one, food truck would be hard to tie together.
Fire truck did.
I got, Blue Round, Nickel.
Oh,
Big
really?
ball.
Oh,
Good.
so don't try to partner or change days or anything.
At least not right now.
Yeah. The
Okay.
running by Grace, I mean, that's her baby, she, that's a pretty good job.
Okay,
She was just here.
so the car show, so I did talk to Chuck and he said, you know, he needs to know now, you know, if we're gonna do a car show, and I was concerned that we might not have space, but obviously we're gonna have space now. it seems.
Do you feel comfortable with that? That we'll have a lot of stuff in it? And, these won't be a thing, so.
No, I mean, it's,
That'd be,
I mean, you know, the fact that based on the discussions we had, that, yes, I mean, obviously, I'm 90% sure. But once we get those leases committed,
Do we need shuttles for the 4th? We've never had them before.
I've already signed the contract.
Oh, so we have to.
The shuttles, I've already signed the contract, so look for that.
Okay.
The shuttles,
Grace Guest, and they used to run a car show. She says they're not gonna do it. Who's gonna run it?
Shut fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
He's been kind of for the last 2 years
okay.
shadowing them, and
So we know it's somebody who knows what they're doing. And the
yes,
car show's gonna be successful.
But they're just like festival, if you don't get it out soon enough,
Yeah, he
they're
wants to
gonna be
do that.
somewhere else.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to get this
Okay.
date thing.
That's
They're
all.
like nomads, they just-
Let's go with it.
first come, first served.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll talk to Grace, I will talk to Grace, but I'm just gonna assume everything's gonna stay as it is, but if she wants to change to the 17th, great, I'm assuming she won't, and so, but we'll still have the fall festival on the 17th. Sounds
See,
like
that
this.
one,
We need leaves. We need color. We need coal.
that's the whole thing I've been preaching 2 years. We need to look at a different thing in October. Because 17th is a good day for the tree and color and everything, but when we, during that time, that's when Franklin has theirs the same weekend. And they've been doing it for 20 years.
those are the biggest.
Yeah. So, you know,
So you think we should move it back more.
Well, what is it, Sharon? One weekend you got a race.
Run bum.
Did
I
you all,
believe that's
did you,
third, 24th.
oh, I'm sorry. Did you all see my note about if you do change the date, you gotta get with the farmer about the hay bales?
No, we didn't see that.
Thank you for raising that.
She's talking about like the Hayville Trail and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, you got that covered.
I've already been working.
But don't the hay bales stay up the whole time? in October?
Yeah, we normally.
Yes.
We normally send them
Well,
out
It depends
the
on the rain.
last week of September,
Yes.
first week of October.
Good.
And we usually give about 2 weeks for folks to do their decorations. Weather permitting, we get them up as late as, Thanksgiving.
Yes,
In fact, a lot of times the bear becomes a Christmas bear.
yes.
So, you know, that's,
I think that was concerned about if we moved it earlier to the third, would they be ready?
yeah.
They would be, okay.
And hey, they can, that,
Yeah.
That's something just that you do every year that we incorporate into the fall. That's a huge practice that I go through. We have sometimes we cut with like. Just
So, what about the vendors? So I guess that's been challenged. Well,
Yeah, and that's another thing. Everybody knows like one or two people is cracking and make nice cracking and try to come down. I go to every show I'm sharing.
So it's free for them to do that.
But it's minimal for everybody. $75 $50 for early enrollment. But, Sharon's got that lot, but we try to go to different craft shows and talk to the vendors and give them our card and give them our information. And that's what it takes. I mean, absolutely, and knowing people.
okay. Have you talked to Bruce Turner, who used to do the vendors? Years ago.
Well, he was in charge of the fall
He
festival,
was
but
in charge of the last 3 years on this, and I'll be into the own dog and Sharon.
Bruce would know, or maybe.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll tell you who I know, he's a very good friend of mine, Jerry Smith, he does the marketing tables.
yes, she has 3 booths last year.
Yes.
Or 3 months too, that's.
Well, and she also had a friend next door that was a good seller because there weren't very many clothes there, and that lady was selling clothing.
It needs to be, thinking of it needs to be, and may not store bought and resold. You know, yeah. If they don't find something themselves, or try to sell it.
So you're saying no garage sale?
Yeah, right. Unless you do something with it.
anything else on? So I will call Bruce. We're just gonna leave it the way it is. Okay, anything else? That's all I had on the agenda. I don't know if anybody had any other business they wanted to raise. Terrific. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I make a